to delve into and become friendly with your hips. Rather than pushing away any discomfort, we're going to delve into it and really get familiar with our hips today. So take 2 deep breaths all the way down into your belly to allow that intention to flow throughout your entire body. And then gently open your eyes. Draw your hands back behind you with your fingers pointing away from you. Bend your knees and bring your feet hip distance, mat distance apart. And you're going to start to allow your knees to drop in from side to side. And the next time that both of your knees come over to the right, you're going to leave them there, bringing your right foot on top in front of the left thigh. Bring your left hand onto your hip. Your right hand is behind you. Inhale, drop your hip down towards the ground, energetically grounding it down. When you exhale, you're going to push it up and forward. Inhale, drop down. Exhale, push up and forward. Inhale, drop down. Exhale, push up and forward. And now we're going to add in your left arm to this. So inhale, drop your left hip down, turn your body, look over your left hand as far to the left as you can. And when you exhale, lift your hip up and bring your arm around as far to the right as you can. Following that with your head. Inhale, drop your hip down, bring your hand around to the left. Exhale, lift your hip up and bring your hand around to the right. One more time. Inhale, drop the hip down, bring the hand around. Exhale, lift the hip up. Good. And come back around to center. Bring your hand back behind your fingers away from you and begin to allow your knees once again to drop from side to side. And the next time your knees are over to the left, bring your left foot in front of the thigh, left hand behind you to support you, right hand on your hip. Inhale, energetically ground that right sits bone down. Exhale, lift the hip up and push it forward. Inhale, drop down. Exhale, push up and forward. Inhale, drop down. Exhale, up and forward. 2 more times here. Combining the breath with the movement, inhaling as you drop down and exhaling as you come up. And now add in the right arm. So drop the hip down, draw the right knees back as far to the right as you can. Exhale, bring your hand around, lift the hip up. Inhale, draw the hand around to the right, drop the hip down. Exhale, bring the hand around. 2 more times here, really combining the breath with the movement, moving as slowly or quickly as your body is asking you for. Good, and come back through center, bring your knees back up, and separate your legs. It doesn't have to be as far apart as you possibly can. And you're going to bring your hands again behind you to support you. Draw your left toes towards the right. Lift your left heel up and slide it over to meet the right. Drop your heel down. Turn your toes out to the left. Lift your foot up about 1 inch off the ground and slide it to the left. Drop down, turn the toes in, and slide. So you can choose if you want to bring your heel down in between each time that you swap where your toes are leading, or if you prefer, you can just make it a more fluid sliding motion. Your heel is about 1 inch off of the ground, and your toes are always leading the movement. So you're really externally rotating the hip as much as you can as you open up, and internally rotating the hip as you're coming back into the center. chest as you can. Flex your left foot. Relax your shoulders and your neck. Inhale here, and you're going to slowly, slowly, slowly lift your left foot up so that it's parallel with the ground. And now you're going to move as slowly as you possibly can, kind of like a two-toed sloth. You're going to push out through your left heel. So the knee is going to start to straighten out, but you're moving in micro movements, controlling the movement. And when your leg comes out as straight as it can, imagine you're pressing that left foot against a wall. And then draw your knee as slowly as you can. Controlled, feeling the articulation of every movement, remembering your intention to get friendly with your hips. I know you're feeling this. One more time. Slowly, slowly, slowly push out through your left heel. And just pay attention to the sensations. Push out through your foot as if you were pushing against a wall. And slowly again, bend your left knee. Slowly allow your hips to fall down. And bring both of your knees in. Wrap your arms around. Lengthen down through your sits bones. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. Take 3 deep breaths and just notice the difference from one side to the other. Good, and relax your hands back behind you. Legs once again spread apart. Tilt your right toes in toward the center. Lift your leg up about 1 inch. Slide over to the left. Drop your heel down. Open up the toes to the right. Lift up and slide to the right. And again, you choose if you want to place the heel down in between or if you want to just allow the movement to become more fluid. And again, you can move as slowly or as quickly as your body is indicating to you at this moment. If you hear cracking, that's pretty normal. One more time. Good. Bend your knee in towards your chest. Really bring the thigh against the chest. Flex both feet. And lift your right foot up so that it's parallel, the shin is parallel. And then you're going to begin to slowly, slowly, imagining that two-toed sloth, moving as slowly as you possibly can, really getting into that hip, allowing yourself to feel the sensations. Once you get the leg as straight as you can, push out through that whole foot as if you were pushing against a wall, and bend your knee once again. Draw the thigh in tightly against your belly, and then lift the shin up and slowly, slowly, slowly push out, pressing out through the whole foot. Bend the knee slowly, slowly retracting back. Good, and relax that foot down. And then slide both of your feet over to the side and come up into a table position. So both hands are directly below the shoulders and both knees are directly below your hips. Bring your left hip out to the side, your left leg, and start to make circles. So when you circle back, the leg straightens out back behind you. And when you come underneath your belly, the knee bends once again. Keep breathing and bring a smile onto your face. Swap directions of the circle. Good. Straighten the leg out completely. Flex your left foot. Turn your foot now to the outside and slide it over to the left. And then come back and turn your toes to point towards the ground. Turn your toes outward, slide to the left. Turn your toes back in and come down. One more time. Good. And now you're going to point your toes of your left foot and begin to draw a
8 with your foot. This may be a little bit difficult in terms of coordination. The figure 8 can be either vertical or horizontal, and it can be as little or as big as your body indicates to you. Don't stop breathing. Good, and then you're going to draw your hands down onto your forearms. Really spread your fingers wide, bend your left knee, and drop your forehead onto the ground as you lift that left leg up as high as you possibly can. 2 deep breaths here. Good. Lift your head up, drop your knee down, and bring yourself all the way back up to a table position. Feel the difference from one side to the other. Allow your hips to just get soft. Just kind of allow the hips to move from side to side. Get supple. Feel into that area of the body. Good. Come back into center. Lift your right leg out to the side and begin to make circles. So when you come underneath your belly, bend the knee, bend it out to the side, and then lengthen it out behind you. Turn the foot to the outside, slide the foot out to the right. Turn the toes back and slide it back. 2 more times like that. Good. Bring the foot behind you, point the toes, and begin to make a figure 8. Noticing if this side is a little bit easier in terms of the coordination of the figure 8, or if it's a little bit more difficult. Don't stop breathing. If you're feeling shaking in your body, that's okay. Just feel into it. Good. Come down onto your forearms. Bend your right knee. Drop your forehead down. Lift that right foot up as high as you can. 2 deep breaths. Press into your hands. Drop that knee down. Push yourself all the way up to sit over your heels. Bring your hands onto your thighs and close your eyes. Open your eyes, walk your hands once again forward, tuck your toes under, and lift your hips into a down dog position. So here your shoulders should be externally rotated, your heart center is lifted up. Lift your left leg up in the air, not as high as you can go. Don't open the hip out to the left. And you're going to begin to bend your knee in towards the center, and then press it out to the left. And bend your knee into the center and press it to the right. And then make your circle here. So bending and circling around. So bend the knee down under your belly, straighten the leg out to the left, and circle around to the right, opening that hip up. Bend the knee down below your belly button, straighten it out to the left, and circle, semicircle over to the left as far as you can. Knee comes down, straighten out to the left, come over to the right. 2 more times. Good. Drop that left foot down. Reorganize your hands or your feet if you need to do so. Make sure you're pressing into the knuckles of your hands so that the weight isn't all in your wrists. Lift the heart center up once again. Bend the right knee up. So right leg is up, bend the knee into your chest, and straighten it out to the right. Bend the knee into the chest and straighten it over to the left. Bend the knee into the chest, now straighten it over to the right and draw a semicircle, opening that right hip up over to the left. Bend the knee underneath your belly, straighten the leg out to the right, make a semicircle around to the left, open that hip up. Couple more times, combining the breath with the movement. So you're inhaling when the knee comes under your belly, exhaling as you draw the semicircle. One more time. Good. Drop that right knee down and begin to walk your hands towards your feet, coming all the way up to a standing position. And grab your block. So it can be a wooden block or it can be a foam block, whatever works for you. And you're going to bring your left foot up onto that block. Bring your right foot to start just onto the toes. Find a drishti or a focal point on the ground in front of you. Flex your right foot and just start to swing. Let your hands do whatever they naturally want to do. You're just swinging the leg forward and back, feeling the micro movements your body has to make to keep you in balance. Good. Come back into center. Don't place your foot down. Flex the right foot and begin to open the leg out to the right and bring it back into the center. Open out and come back to center. 2 more times. Open out, come back to center. It doesn't matter how high your leg is going. You're just finding your own limit here. Now come back to center, and instead of keeping your hips even like we usually do in yoga, I want you to drop that right hip as far down as you can. Let it hang. And start to swing again. So this reminds me always of the monkeys here in Costa Rica. They love to throw themselves over a limb and just let all of their legs kind of dangle. So I want you to bring that energy, that quality into your right hip here. And just notice how much of that habitual holding you can let go of. Good. Stop the swinging. Step over to the right with both feet. Bring one hand over your belly, one hand over your heart. Close your eyes. And just feel the difference from one side of the body to the other. As you're ready, open your eyes, drop your hands down, and just scoot your block over to the other side. And bring your foot, your right foot up onto the block now. Bring your left foot just onto the toes for a moment. Find your balance on your right foot. Find your drishti, your focal point. Flex your left foot and just start to swing. Again, let your arms do whatever they want to do. Delve into that left hip. Remember that you want to get friendly with your hips here. Good. Come back into the center. Lift your left leg out to the side, keeping it straight. Come back into center. And again, it doesn't matter how high your leg is coming, as long as you are finding your limit, your boundaries, your edge for today. One more time. Good. Make your hips super uneven. Let your left hip drop way down and swing. And in fact, if you want to do this in a tree, if I have any other fellow tree lovers, tree climbing lovers, you can actually sit in a tree and allow your hip to just hang. It's an amazing way to support your hip. If you're not such a tree climber, you can also do the same activity if you have stairs that have an open area around them. You can do it on your stairs. Good. to the side. Good. So now you can continue your practice, or you can make this your practice for the day, this short hip opening practice to do either in the morning or before you go to bed in the evening. So if you're going to finish your practice here, you might want to just come into Shavasana or the final relaxation pose for a couple of minutes, just bringing that loving, opening energy, that friendliness into your hip area. And if you're going to continue with your practice, enjoy. Namaste, and thank you for joining me.